I'll start by sharing a story of Sai Baba of Shirdi, how he was sitting at a fireplace in his ashram, and at the same time, far away, there was a family of devotees, and their occupation was blacksmith, working with metals, molding metals. And there was an accident that the blacksmith wife, while working, accidentally allowed her young infant child to slip into the fire. And in desperation, she cried out to Sai Baba of Shirdi for help, although he was far, far away. And at that moment, Sai Baba, at the fireplace in his own ashram area, he suddenly put his hand into the fire and he held it there in this burning fire for a while until he withdrew it and his hand got burned. And everybody who was around got very scared. Why did he put his hand and he got burned? But what happened is that that child far away was saved from the fire. And he said that the reason why he put his hand in the fire and burned is to save the devotee's child from this danger. This story and many, many others show that spiritual masters, higher beings, they have omnipresence, knowing what happens beyond distance or time. There are many stories how devotees were caught in heavy rain and flooding, and they were praying to, in this example, to Sai Baba for protection. And then the people who are there with him, they see him standing up and shouting and commanding the storm to stop in his own ashram while there is no storm at all. And later on, people realize that again somebody was saved far away. Similarly, another beautiful being, Neem Karoli Baba, is famous for his mysteries. So even when he already passed away, there was a devotee who had difficulties in his life, and he was ignoring a dream where Neem Karoli Baba was telling him to perform devotion and worship for the ashram, which is known as Kainchi Dham. And this person was ignoring because Neem Karoli Baba already passed away, but his challenges persisted until he listened to the dream and he visited the ashram. He chanted Hanuman Chalisa, and then all those troubles went away and he felt a strong presence of Neem Karoli Baba. So even after a spiritual master leaves his body, the Leelas keep playing. Another beautiful story to share is related to the ascended master Saint Germain and Jesus, the Christ, how their most accurate portrait was made. the most accurate portrait of the actual face of Jesus and Saint Germain Ascended Master. There was a very world famous, renowned artist named Charles Sindelar. He was very famous artist, making portraits of royalties, presidents, and thousands of portraits he drew. He was very famous, and in those days, yes, there was a photo camera, but it was an honor and a necessity to have a portrait and family portrait and so on. So he was one of the best of the days. And as he was sleeping, he suddenly started seeing the face of Jesus. And he wasn't religious at all. He was like, why I'm seeing his face? And he started seeing it persistently. At night after night after night, he started seeing more and more details of the face, the contours of the lips and his beard and his hair. So accurate details, and these dreams didn't finish. Night after night. He couldn't even sleep well. Well, I just have to paint it. It's not that it's my dream to do so, but he took his pen and pencil and brushes and started drawing the portrait of Jesus. And as he was finishing, people around him were already very excited. You know, they got to know about this, and they said, wow, this looks like nothing else. So lifelike, so detailed, with all precise brushes. And still, he wasn't fully happy. He still saw some visions that he has to correct some contours of the lips and the beard exactly how it needs to be. And when he corrected those little tiny details, the visions stopped. And that portrait was finished. A little bit later, he saw as well the portrait of Saint Germain, the Ascended Master, the Chohan of the seventh ray, and he drew his portrait as well. So this is another Divine Leela. Now, when we look at what is the divine play, all of the creation, entire universe is a divine play of God. It is a play of infinite love, infinite beauty, and challenges, where every soul is drawn back to the source through this illusion of separation. When the soul sleeps in the illusion of duality and separation, God needs to find a way to awaken the soul. For those who have merits, they receive a guide, a spiritual calling. For those who have slept a bit deeper in ignorance, their life usually shakens to the core. Maybe there is completely unforeseen accident, a loss of someone or something, injury, or something really dramatic, drastically shifts, that later on then guides them to find the solutions and to seek for spiritual, deeper answers to their life problems. So this world, with all its joys and sorrows, is a divine play. Well, particularly this universe is more like a shadow of the higher nature of reality. But even in the shadows, there are circumstances of awakening created by intelligent design to help the soul to start returning home to its origin. And I usually like to refer to there is one extremely creative department. There is one department in this creation which is the most creative department and extremely patient. And this is called the angels department. Because they have to be so creative and so patient with the sleeping human beings who are so lost in ignorance that the department of awakened creativity, they have to come up with some really crazy ideas and solutions how to start guiding your life towards a spiritual higher reality. And it's absolutely not straightforward with human beings. First of all, they don't even believe in angels or higher power. Usually they don't believe in those who are unawakened. They tend to ignore all the signs. They keep seeing all synchronicities and it's like, I don't know what that means. Should I do something with that? And even given 5 chances, 10 chances, 20 chances, some people still don't take the opportunity. Now, just imagine if you put yourself in the angel shoes and you try to help a human being on earth who is immersed into the 3D reality. They're stuck on computer, they are just 9 to 5 every night, just stuck on TV and doing the same thing over and over again. But anyhow, imagine that you are the angel and you're trying to help a human being. How much creativity and intelligence and patience you need. If you think raising children is difficult, let alone trying to awaken ignorant, sleepy human beings. Because raising children is difficult, but you can shout at them. You can tell them what to do and what not to do, and they will listen to you, more or less. But the angel service has to have patience of eternity and keep trying again and again and again. So that's really tough, and I really honor their service. They're just inexhaustible, creative, intelligent beings. At the same time, Meher Baba said that I play the divine game to awaken humanity from dream of duality using love and suffering as my tools in this eternal Leela. Well, actually, our first cat, we named her Leela. Yeah, she's still with us, still playing playfully with her games. So the Divine Leela is actually like an outpouring invitation, always with love, seen or unseen, recognized or ignored, but it's the outpouring of love where essentially every act, whether aware or not aware, because sometimes you have a challenging situation, so you definitely will not see it as Divine Leela. You'll say, what the heck is going on in my life? Why things are not happening like they're supposed to? But that's a Divine Leela actually, and later you will see. Because it is designed to bring you closer to your true divinity. And time after time and again and again and again, so many times I extended my hand of invitation to people who are conscious, to people who are unconscious. There are many times when people don't understand my actions, but later on, when they take some time, it can be few days, if they're lucky, few months or few years later, then they know why I said something or did something for their own benefit, even if it didn't seem so at that time. Divine has its own way. This way is not so logical. It's not only governed by logic, by usual societal forms and norms. Divine timing is also not the urgency of the clock. Divine timing sometimes can be very prolonged, or sometimes can be so immediate that it makes completely no sense why this should be done now. And this usually happens quite often in our lives, where there was a plan and suddenly we just have to do something. If we need to go to another country, we just go there. If we have to meet someone, it just happens beyond logic, beyond understanding of what is a linear fashion of life events. Now, of course, you already have some sense of that in your life, because most of you have already experienced many occasions as such. And you realize that after some time, when you reflect on that situation, that there was a divine hand at play. There was a higher power at play. Because in reality, if you know this one thing, that whatever happens in your life, the truest purpose, I will repeat, the truest, deepest purpose is to guide you to the truth and your soul to liberation. Now, you may not see this right away. You may complain for weeks and months and blame everybody else. But if you give a little bit of holiday to your complaining mind, when dust settles down, after a few years, hopefully months, if you're intelligent and spiritually intelligent, maybe weeks or even days, or even instantly right now, you will see, oh, this is going on right now. You know, you will see somebody coming out of nowhere with their problems and this and this and that, and you'll say, oh, I recognize what's going on here. Now, yes, I need to handle this situation. Like being an actor in life. Okay, these are my duties. Yes, I'm gonna do this and this. I'm gonna help you like that and like that. But deeper within, you know that this is a deeper calling. And when a person comes with their issues, yes, you need to help them in a humanly understandable fashion, but add that little touch of the divine. And that extra touch of love that they didn't expect. Or give a little hint, you know, that this happened for a reason.